05 World Series. The Astros overcame 14 Chris Sale strikeouts last night to take the opener. Here's Darren Sutton.
Yes, right in the money, Matt. Problem is, this is a ballpark conducive to offense. Sale just laughed at that notion. It was a historic performance, but some hard luck. He was a 2-1 loser. Now, the offense is expected to return tonight. Paul Konerko, 428 career homers. Big Adam Dunn, 423, and he's back home sleeping in his own bed. He's a Texan. Rios is rolling. 11 long balls this year, red hot over the last 2 weeks. Now, for the Astros, if Chris Carter makes contact, he might knock some of the glass out of this building. And Matt Dominguez is called by his skipper, Bo Porter, the biggest surprise of the year. 9 home runs since mid-May. Let's lace them up. Let's do this thing. Baseball Night in America right here in Houston, Texas on Fox. Hi there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. Alongside longtime Major League closer Mitch Williams, my name is Darren Sutton. You've been there before, Mitch. All Major League players have probably been there. It's last place. But when you talk about the White Sox and the Houston Astros, they look at last place under very different perspectives, don't they?
Well, there's no question, Sutton. If you're the Houston Astros, you had to kind of expect to be there. They are rebuilding here in Houston. They're trying to evaluate their talent and what direction this organization is going to go. If you're the White Sox, you expected to contend in the Central, and they haven't done that. But the good news is they're in last, but they're only 8.5 games out.
And they have very good starting pitching. They just might go on a run if that offense heats up. Speaking of that offense, it's ready to go. We told you, Adam Dunn's ready to roll. He's home. Paul Konerko needs to get going this season. And Chris Carter, the big bats of Houston and the Chicago White Sox, join us on this Saturday night. The starting lineups in the action right after this. Bet you close the roof. You turn the air conditioner on here at the home of the Houston Astros. Now it's 72 degrees indoors and beautiful for these fans to play Major League Baseball. Here is tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you've got to live más. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop. trying to get him going with regard to his power. It's been a special year for Alex Rios. The power of Dunn and Konerko in the middle. The defense of Gillespie, they hope, will equal some offense. And Tyler Flowers getting a chance to take over with the absence of A.J. Pierzynski. Lucas Harrell, a nasty sinker ball. Certainly not a big-time strikeout pitcher, Mitch. He's got to hit the bats and live low.
Well, there's no question. This guy's got a great arm. He's got an above-average fastball, 92 to 95 miles an hour with great sink. A slider and a changeup must work ahead in the count if he expects to get through this lineup.
The opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Alejandro De Aza to lead things off, the center fielder for the Chicago White Sox. A batting average of .270, an on-base percentage of .318 this year at the top of the order. Inside corner, we're underway. Mitch and I glad to have you with us along with our production crew in Houston, Texas.
Well, and that's exactly what Harrell's got to do. He's got a tremendous fastball. He can elevate it at times, but he has to be ahead in the count. And you see the sink on that ball at 94 miles an hour. So that is not easy to barrel up.
It's God-given sink, according to his manager. Not a lot of tweaking and spinning of the wrist as he deals the 1-1. Breaking ball. Into the dirt it goes. They want to know if he went around. Didn't get the appeal out there. Paul Narch is the third base umpire.
They did get the appeal.
Oh, they said he went. He gave a quick punch of the gun. There you go.
Yes, he did.
Thank you, sir, for having those eyes. And Mr. Narch saying thank you for noticing.
Now Harrell's got he can do whatever he wants right here. So he can go up. He can throw his breaking ball. De Aza as a hitter, you have to sit on the fastball. You cannot sit breaking ball on Harrell because he's got too much fastball.
Didn't mean to. It hit the bottom of the bat, right at the knob. Gets a little scary, and that's a feeling his hands. You can understand why.
Well, and he chokes up, too. You see he's up off about 2 inches off the bottom of that, and it hit the knob. That could have been really painful.
He will come in, throw it at the hip, and try to freeze a batter over the inside corner.
But that right there is a wipeout curveball. So if he's going to have that all day long, it's going to be a long day for this White Sox lineup.
And it all seemed to start with strike one that got it to that curveball.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look defensively. Both of these clubs will tell you we've got to get better with gloves on. Martinez, Barnes, and Crow in the outfield. Dominguez, Cedeno, Altuve, Carlos Pena, Gold Glove caliber first baseman. They really like the growth of Dominguez defensively at third as well. Outside corner, strike one.
And that's a pitch all day long. If he works ahead of this lineup, Alexi's up there and he's looking for something he can hit. You can't pull the trigger on a first pitch fastball that looks like it's going to be 2 feet outside.
Altuve with a long way to go leaves his feet outfield grass. An infield single. Alexi Ramirez steps into the box hitting .265. You'll give up those at times if you throw the way Harrell does.
Well, there's no question. He pitches to contact. He does it with 94 mile an hour sink on it, but his game is designed to have the ball put in play, and he's got to rely on his defense, and that's a tremendous play by Altuve as you see the pick by Pena at first, just not in time.
There's a comfort for a defender, an infielder that knows he can just get rid of it with a first baseman like that. 1-0 the count to Alex Rios.
And that's a pitch, the riding fastball up, that he has to be ahead in order to get a hitter to chase that. There's no way they're going to chase that first pitch.
Rios, like De Aza, like Ramirez, tall and lanky with the bat in his hand. So you have all three of these guys as offensive players, a lot of moving parts.
Well, absolutely. You've got a lot of pop in this lineup. And Harrell, for me, if I'm going at this lineup, expose it. Throw strikes. Make them swing the bat because they have not been hot all year long, except this guy. This is the one guy in the lineup, Rios, that you might want to be a little careful with.
He's driven in 33. You saw the 11 home runs.
And Harrell's numbers are backwards. Right-handers hit him way better than left-handers do. So.
Why?
Have no idea. I mean, whether they stay on the ball's coming back into him, and he's starting the ball off the outside corner and it's coming back into the middle. But left-handers do not hit him.
Runner on the move. Pitches outside. Throw down. Not in time. Stolen base, Alexi Ramirez, his 14th stolen base of the year. And now Rios, who, as you saw a moment ago, has been hot in June with an RBI chase.
And these are counts that if you're a pitcher, you want to stay out of with a guy that's as hot as Rios. They're called cripple counts. Now Rios is going to look for one pitch in one zone. And if Harrell gets it there, this is where Rios can do some damage.
3-1 the count.
And the catcher can go out right here and say, look, it's not a crime to put this guy on.
Doug Eddings is behind home plate. The first base umpire is Jordan Baker. Dana DeMuth is the crew chief, and he's the second base umpire. And Paul Nart, we saw a moment ago, out there in the sunshine. The glass bringing the light into this ballpark. Outside, and that is ball four. You bet. You bet. Well, that's exactly what you said.
Yeah,
they went ahead and just made that decision.
Yeah, that's not a crime. You got Dunner coming up, who's hitting 181. Yeah, he's got 17 homers and 39 RBIs to lead this team, but he can be struck out.
Oh, he can.
And he can hit into a double play also. And that's what Harrell is known for, is ground ball outs. I would have taken my chance right here, especially with his batting average against left-handers is so low.
He has rolled up 15 double plays this year. He leads the National League as he paints the inside corner to slugger Adam Dunn.
He's a completely different pitcher when he's ahead in the count. And you see the numbers there. Lucas Harrell, 15 ground. That's the most. That ain't bad. He's got to trust his stuff right here and know that he can get done to roll over on one.
Now, put a bat in your hands, please, and get in the box, because to me the sunlight coming in and out of this situation is an advantage pitcher.
Absolutely. I used to love the ball coming out of the sunlight into the shade is very hard to pick up, especially when it's got the kind of movement that Harrell has on his pitches. Breaking balls are a really good idea right now.
We've already seen that early on. Fastball right down the middle at 95.
And that is not the two-seamer. That's just reaching back and throwing a four-seamer gas. Now he can throw that breaking ball. He can elevate his fastball. If I'm him, I'm going up.
Dunn angry with himself that he didn't bite at that last fastball. If he does bounce it, Castro with the breaking ball becomes very important. That one, a changeup, and it's rolled foul at the first base line, so he backed off.
That, in my opinion, Seth, that's not a good pitch choice right there. It's hard to throw a changeup when a hitter has not swung the bat yet, and you've thrown your fastball by him twice, throws him. The first pitch you get him to swing at is a changeup. I'm not throwing one there.
423 career home runs for Adam. In on his hand, buried a fastball inside.
And he has him set up. He can throw that breaking ball right here. He can bounce it. He can backdoor it. There's a lot of different ways he can go. And Dunner, he's a guy that strikes out a lot, but he knows the strike zone. But it's hard, like I said, to pick the ball up coming out of that sun. And you see Dunner's in the shade.
Infield and outfield both playing Adam Dunn to pull. Just got a piece of it, got him with the changeup, foul tip, and Castro holds on.
And that surprises me. He went back to it, but he made a really good pitch with it. Now this is where a young guy like Harrell, he's really got to understand the inning is not over. And now you got to face Paul Konerko, who is not having his best year offensively, but Paulie knows how to hit with runners in scoring position.
Konerko at 237, 24 runs batted in. 37 years old now. And an incredible career, a career member of this organization after starting off as a Dodger draft pick, but now amongst the all-time White Sox greats in games and hits. The RBI total goes higher because of that number right there. And that's the number Mitch is talking about.
Exactly. You put guys in scoring position, this guy is a really good professional hitter.
Jumps ahead, 0-1 the count. We are seeing, Mitch, two different fastballs from Harrell right away.
Yeah, he's got a four-seamer and that two-seamer. That was a four-seamer at 92. And maybe that's what he's going to do with right-handers since they've been hitting him so well. That sinker comes back into him. Maybe he's going to abandon that and use more four-seam fastballs at ride.
That one dives down and away. The slider. And he throws a slider that's almost the same velocity as some of his fastballs.
Well, his last fastball was 92, and that slider was 92.
That's why that changeup. I know you didn't love the choice, but it becomes important just to change speed.
Absolutely. He has to establish it. I just wouldn't have done it to the first when I got 2 strikes on a hitter, and he has not seen my changeup yet. He hasn't swung the bat.
28-year-old right-hander fires it, driven into right center field. It's down for a base hit. Ramirez out front. They'll send him on down. Joe McEwing, the third base coach. The Chicago White Sox strike first. Paul Konerko hitting just 237, but as Mitch said, he gets them when they count.
And this is right here for me is where Lucas Harrell has to step back off the mound and gather himself and stop the bleeding. I did a game here a couple of weeks ago, and he really let the fact that he gave up a couple of runs get to him, and you could see it in his face. As we look at the pitch here to Paulie, who drives that ball into right center. And that's what the White Sox really need to do a better job of. They have not supported their pitching staff with offense very much this year.
Runners on first and third, 2 outs. Connor Gillespie. Fastball dips over the outside corner. 0-1 to count to Connor. 25 years old, out of Wichita State this winter. Brought in by the Chicago White Sox from the Giants organization in a swap of minor league players, but his glove is giving him a chance to play up here.
Yeah, we've seen some highlight plays out of this guy in the last week or so. He's made some tremendous plays. But at this level, you know, a lot of guys can field. Can they hit? You got to prove yourself with that bat. You see him. He's old school, no batting gloves.
Doing good things offensively amongst his peers, amongst all rookies in the American League, as he fights that one off. A lively fastball, 1-2 the count.
And if I'm a pitcher and I see that swing on a 1-1 pitch, I'm going to elevate. He's way late on that ball. Now I'm going to take my 4-seamer instead of the 2-seamer. I don't want the ball put in play here, because of the fact that if it is put in play, it can find a hole. Elevate your 4-seam fastball and get him to chase, because he cannot catch up right now.
Harrell, a one-time member of this White Sox organization, fires it in on the hands. It's driven into left center field, where J.D. Martinez in the shadows puts it away. 6-time All-Star Paul Konerko with RBI number 1,361 in his fine big league career. starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you've got to live. Moss, after 8 years in the minor leagues, Brandon Barnes in the big league starting last year. The very famous Jose Altuve here in Houston. Jason Castro, J.D. Martinez, slugger Chris Carter, veteran Carlos Pena. Matt Dominguez has been a huge surprise this year. He's been hot since the middle of May. 28-year-old left-hander John William Danks coming back off of shoulder problems, making just his 5th start of the year, Mitch.
Yeah, when you look at John Danks, he's got an average fastball, has a curveball and a changeup. He is a guy that must locate with all of these pitches in order to get through a big league lineup.
He misses up and away to Brandon Barnes, 1-0 the count. It's pretty violent with that delivery, will leave the arm behind at times, and he didn't that time. Paints over the outside corner, 1-1 the count to Barnes.
That's a big key, so you hit right on it. He's a guy that has to get to his balance point in his delivery before he starts down the mound, or he is going to stay hurt. And you see that changeup right there. That's perfect. Got him out in front. That's what he's got to do in order to have success.
The rookie skipper of these Houston Astros was a heck of a college football player at Iowa. Bo Porter has had something to say about the Western Division in the American League as the Astros make the move from the National League to the American League this year. Or to the American League, the National League. And you can see Houston obviously not where they want to be, but in their last run of a couple of weeks, they're playing right about 500.
Well, if you look at this team, you got to be happy if you're Bo Porter.
Altuve lines it into center field. 297 on the year. That will go down. Jose Altuve doesn't wait any time at all. The Chicago White Sox, again, it's perspective. A payroll of much, much, much higher for Robin Ventura. He's a second-year manager. Had a heck of a honeymoon last year. He still is kind of the same guy, though, this year and last year.
Well, there's no question. He's one of the most even-keeled people you'll ever be around. And this team has underperformed. But if we're looking at it honestly, they've pitched extremely well. They have not hit, and that's what they're expected to do. This team has to hit, and I think they will hit.
Over the outside corner right away to Jason Castro.
And Castro's been a great surprise coming back off that knee surgery, catching a whole lot more. He's hitting the ball a whole lot better with power, driving some runs in. He smoked that ball right there, but that's what ground balls are about.
Give Danks a run. He offers his club a shutdown inning. Said, boys, grab the bats. Let's go again. Only 4 gives you EcoBoost, boost fuel economy, and a whole lot more. And by Taco Bell. Sometime you gotta live Moms. Time now for our Ford keys to the game, Mr. Williams.
Well, Sut, for the White Sox, they plain and simply they got to play better defense, and with Lucas Harrell on the mound, they have to be patient at the plate. The Astros, Harrell has to work ahead and force Danks. The offense of the Astros has to force Danks into the middle of the plate.
Dayan Viciedo, the Cuban native, leads things off here in the second inning. Fastball jumps ahead, strike one.
And he most definitely is using his four-seam fastball to right-handers. What do they call this guy, Sut? Tank?
They do call him Tank, and that's a very appropriate nickname.
Yeah, he's built like a cinder block.
He's a big-time mistake hitter, though he's hitting just 226, as you saw a moment ago, 4 long balls. Made his debut into the big leagues at 21 years old.
And an 0-2 count right here. Harrell can do whatever he wants. Elevate, stay out of the strike zone. You don't want to throw a strike here. Perfect. Now he's got him set up to throw him breaking ball, change up, whatever he wants to throw. His fastball again. I think.
There's the curveball, and the quiet month of June just continues. He went with the curveball after the high fastball. That's called execution. Last night we saw some execution, flat out dominating. The slider was there. The fastball throws him Chris Sale. The third pitcher in Major League Baseball history to strike out 14 or more, allow no earned runs, and actually lose the game a couple of unearned runs. It was a 2-1 loss last night. And an interesting collection of pitchers, to say the least, as you look back over time.
I kind of wonder if Lucas Harrell didn't hurt something right there. He kind of shook his arm funny after he delivered that pitch. I guess not. At 93, he's fine.
2-0 the count.
This is where he's got to gather himself and just get back into the count.
He did. A fastball with a lot of life. He started it away. It's a high fly to right. And Gordon Beckham, the pride of the University of Georgia. We talk about that unique, almost dubious club. Dubious, I'd say, for his offense and his defense. Not as much for Sale, who was incredible. Jim Scott, Death Valley Jim, they called him. He struck out 15 and lost against the Browns with the Sox. Sutton Sam McDowell did the same thing to the Angels. And Chris Sale. That's incredible what happened last night.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about bad luck. And that's been the case for both these teams. They're third and first in errors in the American League, with the Astros being first, and you kind of expect that with the youth of this club. They're kind of having to grow up at the big league level, and that's a tough thing to do.
Tyler Flowers has the count even up at 1-1. The 27-year-old backstop, former Brave minor league catcher.
I'm talking with Robin Ventura before the game. The pitchers all love throwing to this guy.
Curveball away, high fly, ball back up second base. Altuve, why not? Just let him take it. Who needs outfielders when you have Jose Altuve? He'll go out and play rover in right center field. Baseball night in America. you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. 28-year-old left-hander John Danks ready to go to work. J.D. Martinez to lead it off in the first pitch over the outside corner is strike one.
And you see Danks, he's definitely working the edges. With a young team like this, he's got to expose that and use that to his advantage. These kids want to swing.
Case in point, changeup swung on and missed. 0-2 the count on Martinez. Still just 25-year-old, like a lot of these youngsters, with a pretty high ceiling. The Astros have the youngest roster in the American League. Tried to waste a fastball up. That got a lot of home plate. 0-2 the count.
See, son, I believe, honestly, that the pitch counts have gotten pitchers away from using a pitch to set up another pitch. And they want to get that out as quick as possible. And I truly believe, I don't care how many pitches it took. I wanted the out. He threw him a fastball in right there. That would not surprise me to see him come back with that changeup that he got in the chase earlier.
Ran it in under his hands, a cut fastball, and down he goes. Let's go to Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network studios. It's a game break.
Hey, Sut, the Braves have padded the game's best home record, and they do it in dramatic style today. 2 in the bottom of the 9th game winner, courtesy of Freddie Freeman, making a strong push for perhaps his first All-Star selection. 6-5 Braves in the final. Back to you and Mitch.
Thanks, Matty. The Braves, 40-28. Better said, 22-8 at Turner Field. They've had an incredible year.
And Chris Carter's one of those guys that does a lot of damage, can hit the ball a long ways. But when you get pitches like that, it's tough. And trust me, Danks knows this is a guy that if you make a mistake to, he can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Breaking ball dips over the inside corner. 1-2 the count to Carter. 13 home runs for Carter, along with 96 strikeouts. A bit of a high wire act offensively.
And that's a tremendous pitch right there. Changeup got him out on his front foot, got him to roll over on it.
Pitching like he's at home, and he is, because it's time for the Own Your Space pitcher profile, brought to you by Avis. Round Rock, Texas, Austin, Texas area, drafted by the Rangers in the first round. First career road game here in Houston. He and his brother Jordan, who is actually on the active roster as an outfielder with the Sox. They were hoping maybe to be in the first ever starting lineup, the two of them as brothers.
Well, that would be kind of cool.
All kinds of family and friends are here. The veteran Carlos Pena in the hole. 0-1 the count. Continues to find work each and every year, Pena. Texas, Oakland, Detroit, Boston, Tampa, the Cubs. Because he can knock it in the seats and he can pick it at first.
Exactly. He's one of those guys that I'm a big believer in damage. I don't concern myself too much with batting average. And he's been a guy that's done a lot of damage in his career. And like you said, plays an unbelievable first base.
It's a solid take right there.
That's a tough pitch to lay off right there. That's a changeup, which is strange. Left-hander on left-hander, you don't see too many changeups thrown.
World Series experience with Tampa. Now 35 years old. Where's the time gone? Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. 35 years old. He was just a kid yesterday.
But the great thing about him, if you're Houston and you're rebuilding and you've got a bunch of youthful players, you're not going to find a better guy in the clubhouse than Carlos Pena. He's as good as they come.
We'll do it again with a 1-2 count. 1-0, the White Sox lead it. Couple of things you need to know. Avid reader. This place is everything. Comeback player of the year in 2007.
How's he an avid reader if he misplaces everything? Wouldn't you be losing books?
You just start a new one. But if you're a digital reader, you better not misplace your reader. 2-2 the count.
If I'm Danks, I'm going to a breaking ball right here. Something I can start at him and hopefully freeze him. Oh, hit him in the jersey. Changeup, another changeup. And that's typically why you don't want to go change up left-hander on left-hander, because it's running back into a left-hander. And what you normally want to do, you want the ball down, which that was. Had that ball stayed on the plate, that's a ball that a left-hander will hit out of the ballpark.
That's a barely if it got him, just nicked the jersey.
Yeah, if you're going to get hit, that's the way to get hit.
Another well-traveled veteran brought in as they rebuild these Houston Astros, now with one of the best farm systems in the game, is Ronnie Cedeno.
Yeah, he's playing shortstop.
And he just found the gap in left center field. This Houston shortstop has Pena moving on around the bases. Come on down, says Dave Tremblay. The Astros tie it up at 1 apiece. Ronnie Cedeno, double-digit RBIs now with 10.
And for an old guy, Carlos Pena got around those bases pretty good right there. And you were talking about the youth and the minor league system here. One of their top prospects is a shortstop. But they're trying to do things right here in Houston, building their minor league program up. And they've done a great job of it.
Yes.
But they don't want to rush these kids to the big leagues.
No, you're talking about Carlos Correa, last year's #1 pick. Jeff Luhnow, the general manager of the Houston Astros, will join us in the booth in a bit. Matt Dominguez skies it into right field. Alex Rios puts that one away. When he joins us, we'll talk about those young, talented Astros, but it's a couple of veterans who do the damage. Back to Houston in a bit after a word from your local Fox station. Baseball night in America. Well, that's a great shot of the sun peeking in.
And now at least the hitter and the pitcher are in the sun to make it easier on the hitter.
You see a sinking fastball. You were talking between breaks. You've seen a lot of sinking fastballs to left-handed hitters and straight or four-seam fastballs to righties.
Yeah, and I think that's something he definitely changed since the last time I saw him in person. And see that right there? That's that swing back kind of two-seamer that it makes it very hard for a left-hander to pull the trigger on.
And right back in there, and it tied him up.
That was a four-seamer right there. So he's mixing his pitches and the look of his fastball pretty well. This is a big inning for Lucas Harrell. He gave up the 1 run in the first inning. His team got the game tied again. This is a big inning for him to put up a 0.
And at the top of the order, he's dealing with a hot hitter in De Asa. Hovering right around 400 over the last couple of weeks. And when you're hot, you spoil pitches like that.
I mean, that's a pretty good fastball right there. He abused him first time up with his breaking ball. He's going to De Asa would have to prove to me that he can hit that breaking ball or lay off it. That's what I'd go to if I was Lucas Harrell right here. And there it was, but he was too far outside, couldn't get him to bite on it. Come back with it.
The Missouri native, the one-time member of the White Sox, does go back to it. And again, he spoils a heck of a pitch.
We're going to take a look here, and I wondered if Lucas Harrell hurt something in the first inning. Right there, question about whether or not it was pain or he was upset with the location of the pitch. I think more the location of the pitch.
Buried a fastball. He couldn't spoil that pitch. High pop. Ronnie Cedeno, who drove in the lone run for the Astros. Makes Sunday extra special by going out to the ballpark. And of course, this Sunday is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Go to MLB.com/Sunday to find special ticket offers. That's a fun battle to watch between those two.
Yeah. And I like what I just saw out of Lucas Harrell. He's moving his infielders where he wants them. Starting Ramirez off with a really good breaking ball, not even close to the strike zone. And Lexi went after it.
Little chopper, it's pulled foul. The bench coach for the Astros for Bo Porter is Eduardo Perez, longtime major leaguer and a guy who's cut his teeth. He's sitting to the left there on your television screen. Now, he's very active in the scouting reports. He will move the infielders. The pitchers, though, have the right to move them where they'd like to. They work together on it. Yeah. They didn't early in the season.
I think a pitcher ought to be able to move. I know I used to move them. Because there's certain guys you're going to face that either can catch up or can't catch up. I would move my second baseman a lot. Lucas Harrell with his stuff. Once his kid figures out just how good his stuff is, there's really no ceiling on how good he can be.
He's got a no-ball, 2-strike count on Alexi Ramirez, who singled and scored back in the first. He took a breaking ball and it's low. Perez talked about, Mitch, shifting some of the defenders at times, like a 3-1 count on Pujols. Within the count, boom, he'd move them over, get him thinking about, we'll go ahead and give you a single to right with a 3-1 count.
Absolutely.
Boy, electric stuff. Down he goes. The Fox Sports 1 fan cam caught fans here at the ballpark. Excited about Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming this August. Bobby Dynamite. Not the train at the train tracks here.
They couldn't get me up on that thing.
Not a heights guy.
No. I'm kind of high where we're at right now, and I don't like it.
Now goes to a sinking fastball to a right-handed hitter. 0-1 the count to Alex Rios.
And he punched out Alexi Ramirez with a sinker. But you're talking about 94, 95, goes back to a four-seamer right there to keep the ball away and keep it from running back over the plate.
Come on, after the game, let's go up there and check out the train.
No. I don't want to be a conductor.
That'd be fun.
I'd rather have rocks thrown at me, son.
You'll love it, Mitch. Well, we're going to have a good time after the game. We'll go up there.
Yeah. You'll be alone.
0-2 the count. He's got options. He just wastes the fastball.
That is the first cutter I've seen him throw today, and that's a pitch I just really can't stand. There's so many pitchers trying to use it today, and we're seeing so many injuries, I think, because of it. If you can't locate it, why throw it? He already has more than enough stuff to win Major League games.
Mariano Rivera throws a natural cut fastball. It has that movement. A guy like Harrell will put pressure point on the middle finger, which can put strain on the elbow. That's what Mitch is talking about. Drop down sidearm. Where'd that come from?
That's the first time I've seen him do that. That's a pretty good pitch. It's a really good take by Rios.
Might have even fooled Doug Eddings. Hugging the line at third. Dependable Matt Dominguez. What a play. 7 in a row set down. A very unique story. When we come back, we also know cut fastballs and heights. Which doesn't like it. Back to live action. 1-1 is our score. White Sox and Astros. Bottom half of the third inning. Trevor Crow, the 9-hole hitter, to lead it off against left-hander John Danks. I've got a left-hander sitting to my right. I've got a left-hander down in the dugout. Tomorrow's starting pitcher is southpaw Hector Santiago. Hector, thank you for joining us. You've had a unique year in and out of the rotation into the bullpen. Overall, it's been successful. You've got to be proud of your flexibility and your ability to adapt as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely been a crazy year, back and forth, starting back in the bullpen and, pretty much doing anything they ask. But it's fun, you never know what to expect when you come to the ballpark. And, so far it's been a good year and everything's going the way that I planned and, trained for in the offseason.
Hector, it's Mitch, and I got to ask you, what do you like better, the bullpen or the rotation?
I like starting better. I mean, you get to go out there 5, 6, 7 innings, be able to be out there longer and give your team a chance to win. But coming out the bullpen is definitely fun because, it's just like you're sitting on the bench and then they call your name and you just gotta get hot quick. So, that's always exciting, being able to jump up like that and get going and, come into a game where, hopefully it's a clean inning, but, come into a game where you got to come in and help somebody out, get them out of an inning. That's always big. You can go and come in, pat them on the back, like, hey, don't worry about it, we got you.
2-0 the count on Brandon Barnes. So Sale goes last night, Danks today, you tomorrow, and then another left-hander, Jose Quintana, goes on Monday. They're all different. You guys are all different, but can you learn southpaw to southpaw even from a guy like Chris Sale?
Yeah, I think so. Like last night you watching Sale, and obviously he's a top guy. Top left-handed pitcher, but just watching his game, you can pick, little, whether it's one guy or two guys in the lineup, you can pick how he pitched them and, try to, pick the way he pitched and try to, duplicate what he did last night, which is probably really hard to do. But it's fun to watch him out there, and, you hope you can go out there and do the same thing. Hopefully Danks looks good right now. He's dominating, and, hopefully I can come out tomorrow and do the same. And then Quintana, I mean, it's weird because they moved back Extra to bring in 4 lefties in a row, which they were kind of trying to avoid. I think when they put me back in the bullpen when Danks came back, but with PV going down, it wound up having to happen with 4 lefties in the rotation.
You pay honor and pay tribute to what occurred in Newtown, Connecticut. You're from Newark, New Jersey, and you honor him with your spikes. Certainly, earlier this year in January, your dad, Hector Sr., and your fiance, you made the drive and visited St. Rose of Lima Church and just really gave a lot of time back. It's a big part of your heart and who you are even today, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always fun to be able to give back and, just go up there and visit, even if it's just for a few hours. I mean, something like that helped them a long way. I mean, just talking to those kids when I was getting ready to get out there, sign autographs, and I mean, you couldn't be happier. I mean, each kid came up with a smile. It was just something fun for them. They got to meet, Major League Baseball player, and they had a great time.
I bet your father, Bob, was glad you came.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he got, after the whole ceremony and all the stuff was done, we kind of sat down in the Starbucks, and he kind of broke down into tears and, was filled with joy, happy that, came up there. But he definitely got emotional and, was appreciative of me going up there.
Hector, you talk a lot about Chris Sale being a top guy. We just showed a graphic. You were a 30th round draft pick. So you can tell the people at home, when you're a 30th round draft pick, you're not expected basically to get to the big league level.
No, definitely not. I mean, I was lucky enough to, be able to sign at a 30th round. I mean, I got drafted and I went to school for a year, and, lucky enough I had a decent freshman year and signed right after my freshman year and right before the draft. I mean, and it was just a grind. I mean, you just got to put extra effort and, make them notice you, and, you earn your spot and be able to fight through all the, the traveling and the minor league things and all that other stuff that you go through in the minor leagues.
Hector, classy young man, thank you for a time.
No problem. Thank you.
And we trust the sun is shining on your weekend on this Father's Day. We remind all of you of the 2013 Home Run Challenge for prostate cancer research. To donate, visit homerunchallenge.org, homerunchallenge.org. And Guys like Adam Dunn, with their big bats in their hands, can make a difference. More than $40 million in the last 17 years has been raised for research and treatment for prostate cancer. He just missed doing exactly what we were hoping as he hits a fly out to left field. One away. Tonight's telecast, presented by Ace Hardware, is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. And by AT&T. Rethink possible.
And you couldn't be more right, son. Adam Dunn just missed that pitch right there.
It's easy to talk about Adam's 181 batting average, but lately he's been reaching. And when we say reaching, that's kind of Adam Dunn. He'll do some damage, but he'll also walk. He's been doing that the last couple of weeks.
Well, he's a guy that you can actually put on a team. He can throw the entire team on his back, literally and figuratively. He's a big guy, and you see that big exhale. He knows he just missed a pitch to hit out of the park. He's what we call back home. Here in Texas, where I call my home, I lived here a long time. He's a big hay hauler.
It's pretty appropriate, I think.
If you're going to haul hay, he would be one of the first guys you called.
New Caney High School is where he played baseball and he played football, and he was just Adam Dunn. The Dunn family very well known. So he's home. That's about 29 miles northeast of this ballpark. And weather caused the Chicago White Sox to cancel early their Wednesday game with a scheduled off day for Thursday. Well, when you have the resources of Mr. Dunn, you get on a plane and get out of town as soon as you can. And he's been in Houston, he says it feels like for about 6 days.
Well, anytime you start to get to this time of the year, especially with the heat, 2 or 3 days off feels like a week.
2-2 the count on his veteran teammate Paul Konerko. Drove in a run back in the first inning. Took a pitch out over the plate, drove it to right center field. Inside and off the plate.
And there's that 94-mile-an-hour sinker that he tried to get Konerko to bite on, and he couldn't do it. Konerko got a hit on a fastball in his first at bat to drive in a run. This is where Lucas Harrell has to have faith in his off-speed stuff and go to his breaking ball or his changeup. He's not gonna, though.
Sold him on a fastball. Look
95.
at the movement at 95.
This right here is exactly what I'm talking about. When he finally figures out just how good his stuff is, there are not many guys in the game that possess a 95-mile-an-hour sinker. That thing's got to look, it's a bowling ball. Like Jim Johnson, the closer in Baltimore, he has the same type movement as Johnson, only he's taken it to the mound as a starting pitcher.
The list is a very short one. 0-1 the count, Connor Gillespie, of guys who can sink it but do so close to the mid-90s. That list becomes very short.
Very short.
Like Kevin Brown type list.
Exactly. And you look at, I played with probably one of the best pitchers that ever played this game in Greg Maddux. And Mad Dog, you hated to play catch with him. He was always throwing that sinker and it'd catch your thumb. In baseball, we call it a heavy ball. And it's heavy off the bat. They break a lot of bats. They break a lot of thumbs.
1-2 the count. 9 in a row sat down by this right-hander after Paul Konerko singled in a run in the first inning, which means that part of his game above the shoulders that Bo Porter talked about, his psyche responded very positively after he gave up that run.
And that was the thing I was most interested in seeing. And that's what you get right there. A sinker beat into the ground. That was actually a changeup.
Jeff Luhnow, the general manager of the Houston Astros, 10 in a row sat down by his right-hander. sat down 10 in a row. John Danks trying to match him pitch for pitch. Turned into a pitcher's duel. 1-1 is our score. Jason Castro, who was 0 for 1 to lead things off. And Jeff Luhnow, the general manager of these Houston Astros, part of a unique process. The architect, I guess we could call you as well, of these Houston Astros. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys.
You have to really enjoy what you're seeing early on. Just quick response theater here out of Lucas Harrell.
Well, you know, Lucas was in the running to be our opening day starter. We really believe that he's got the stuff to be at the top of the rotation. It's just a matter of harnessing that consistently. And our rotation's been good. We've been playing 500 ball last month, and it's largely due to the strength of our rotation. Lucas has been a big part of that.
And now, Jeff, you've been a guy that is known for building from within. You've come over here from St. Louis and immediately addressed the minor league system, and you want to build this team from within through development and scouting and all that. And obviously it shows over in St. Louis with the arms and the players they've got there.
Well, they have a great organization from top to bottom, and they do believe in developing your own players and then surrounding them with free agents when you need to.
With the boss watching, high fly ball, deep right field. Goodbye. Jason Castro with his 9th home run of the year. A fan favorite, a manager's favorite, I would imagine a general manager's favorite.
Well, he is a first-round draft pick. This is really the first year he's been all healthy, starting the year all healthy, and it's showing. This kid has a chance to be a great two-way player. He's a good receiver with a good arm, very athletic, and the power's starting to come. It's really an exciting part of our future.
You might want to hire me. I've done 2 games here now. He's hit 2 home runs.
There you go.
He punished that one, didn't he, Mitch? And
yes.
Lefty on lefty, he punished that one.
And that's a real key. For a guy that's going to play every day and catch every day, you got to be able to show that you're going to stay in there on left-handers. He did a great job right there.
J.D. Martinez hits it hard on one hop out to second. Gordon Beckham in time for the out. Mark Appel out of Stanford, your #1 pick, the #1 overall pick. Obviously a Houstonian as a young man. That has to be exciting. Now you head into negotiations. How's that going?
Well, he graduated today from Stanford, so we let him take a breather. We're going to really engage him this week. You know, he's a senior. He's already finished school. He's dying to play. He's from Houston. His family's from Houston. So we're just really excited that that was our guy.
Harder deep left field. Way back and out of here. Oh, my goodness.
You said something in the moment about breaking glass, didn't you?
Home run number 14 for Chris Carter.
I don't think we're going to be able to get Mr. Luhnow out of the booth. Good luck.
Pretty good so far.
And you have to like that when you sit here and you look at some of the youthful players that you've got in this lineup, the Altuves, Castro, J.D. Martinez, Chris Carter. As a general manager, it gives you kind of a hope we can build around these guys.
I think it does. You got to throw Matt Dominguez in that equation, Brandon Barnes, Jordan Lyles. I mean, we really like the core that we're developing here. But on top of that, you know, we've got some players coming that we're really excited about. Corpus Christi, our AA affiliate, clinched the first half title last night. They've got some guys down there that aren't too far away. Springer, Singleton. They got some guys in AAA. So it's going to be really fun watching this team come together over the next 3 to 4 years and ultimately get back to the point where we were in 2005 where we could compete.
Breaking ball, got to get over there to cover. He does, head for a slide, and in time for the out. Obviously, it was Bill DeWitt Jr. who gave you your initial opportunity. Now, a unique collection of executives here with your owner, Jim Crane, and your colleague now, Reed Ryan, who grew up with his father around this ballpark, but has his own resume on his own. A unique collection of folks, including your manager. Describe communication between, let's say, the 4 of you, including Bo Porter.
Well, it's excellent, and it starts with the vision that Jim had when he purchased this team and pulling together the best people possible for all the different roles. And it's really, you know, everybody has their own background, their own strengths. We communicate on a daily basis, and we're all on the same page. You know, this is not an organization that's fractured in any way. We all know what the goal is and working towards it, and it makes communication a lot easier in making decisions.
Well, when you speak about your minor league system, I believe in 2012 it was ranked 26th. This year it's ranked as high as number 4. You've got to be proud of that. In to do it in such a short amount of time.
Well, a unique call will end this conversation. I thought we had plenty of time to continue this conversation because he looked safe. He looked very safe. And Bo Porter, that's a different kind of communication, Mr. Luhnow. Thank you very much for coming up.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
These are exciting times to be covering the Astros. And we
I think so.
Thanks. Curveball to start off Dayan Viciedo. He was struck out back in the second inning. 3-1 is the score on a pair of Houston Astros home runs, and behind the right arm of Lucas Harrell. Now he was pitching to keep it tight. He's pitching with a 2-run lead. He's sat down 10 in a row, Mitch.
Well, and this is a big hurdle he's got to get over here at this ballpark. He is 2-5 at home with a 6.13 ERA. So this is something it's a mental thing that he's got to get past because he has great stuff. His road record, 2-2 with a 2.70. So his ERA is just shy of 4 runs lower on the road than it is here at home.
Viciedo has been ice cold no matter where he's been hitting the last 15 games. Just outside, 3-1 the count.
And that's at 95-mile-an-hour sinker. If you look at Viciedo, 113 average and 15 punch-outs.
Couldn't catch up with that fastball. Down the line it goes, and so we'll do it again. Now with a full count. You know, you're talking about getting ahead, believing in your ballpark. 16 batters he has faced. He's either had a 1-2 or an 0-2 count on half them. 8 of the 16.
That is an absolute recipe for success for any pitcher, but especially Lucas Harrell. He has to be ahead because he has really good put-away stuff if he is ahead.
Fastball inside corner, got him looking.
96 on that one.
When we were speaking with General Manager Jeff Luhnow, the conversation came to an end. There are a couple of close plays at first base.
And we're going to see on the replay that the umpire was right. Not only on this play with Carlos Pena diving head first.
Beckham takes a pitch that is low, a cut fastball. 1-0 the count. The other play involved Ronnie Cedeno.
And the umpire was also right. I'm not normally a guy that likes to give umpires credit, but those are two bang-bang plays, and he got both of them right.
So those of you that are fans of Mitch Williams, now it's heights, cut fastballs, and giving umpires credit.
No, there's a lot of great guys that are umpires in Major League Baseball. It's a thankless job. Ooh.
Matt Dominguez attempted on a backhanded snatch to get that ball. I'm curious, if Cedeno runs through the bag, what happens here?
Well, I think it's a myth. Well, that's Pena right there, diving into first. But I think it's a myth that you get there quicker sliding. I think you can go in head first into first base if you're trying to avoid a tag play, but not in a force situation. I think you're right. If you run through the bag, it's every bit as quick, and you don't risk getting your hands stuck on it.
They have not scored that play yet. Just a moment ago. Now they scored a base hit.
Well, that ball ate Dominguez up. They don't call us a hot corner for nothing.
And a string of 11 in a row sat down.
He's playing deep right here at third base with a double play in order. He is playing very deep at third.
0-1 the count to Tyler Flowers. Takes it out of the catcher's mitt. And now the count, no balls and 2 strikes. He popped out to the second baseman back in the second inning.
And if you're a pitcher and a hitter in this situation, you know you're having trouble catching up to that fastball. You're wondering, is this guy going to throw me anything off speed, knowing that I am not catching up to his fastball? If I'm Harrell, if I'm throwing anything off speed, it's going to be bouncing.
He's dealing with a hot hitter right now who's confident. 1-2 the count.
And that right there changes a hitter's eyes. He's been looking at nothing but pitches down. So you throw that ball up, and people at home will go, well, what purpose did that serve? Well, it raised Flowers' eyes up. Now he had to look up. Now, if he throws a changeup or a breaking ball, he's got to go back down with it.
Flowers came from Atlanta to the White Sox in a deal that sent Javi Vasquez to Atlanta about 5 years ago. Broke his bat. With a catcher running, can they get 2? You betcha.
16 ground ball double plays.
Altuve hung in there very nicely. Cedeno got it started. And they took advantage of Tyler Flowers heading up the line. Leading ground balls for double plays induced by Harrell.
And that's firewood right there.
Matt Dominguez takes a pitch, a fastball that misses outside. 1-0 the count.
And Dominguez has been a kid that Bo Porter's been extremely happy with. He was brought up with the Florida Marlins, I think kind of rushed up to the big leagues, and they expected him to hit home runs, and he was pulling off the ball, and Bo Porter got him to just let the game come to you.
And the baseball went to Gillespie, and because of that, Matt Dominguez continues to let the game come to him. He leads it off with a base hit. He is 1 for 2 in this contest.
And you see right here, we're going to watch a replay of this. This ball eats him up as well, so Dominguez got even. That's not a lot of fun if you're a third baseman. You get so many in-between hops, and balls are hit so hard that everything's a reaction. And we're going back right here. There's Dominguez. That ball's smoked. He's mad at himself that he thought he should have made the play.
Fastball in on the knuckles, so it's a lazy fly ball to center field, and Trevor Crowe is erased. Let's get it on out to Matt Vasgersian, MLB Network Studios. Time, Matt, for a game break.
Sut Tigers and Twins. Trevor Plouffe off the DL on his 27th birthday and hitting a 2-run home run against Anibal Sanchez to even things up with the AL champs. Happy birthday, young man. Back to you guys.
Good stuff, Matty, and certainly they're enjoying that rivalry, though they're very distant in the standings right now. And Detroit winners of 6 of their last 8 ball games. There's some positives in Minnesota, certainly. Joe Mauer's having a heck of a year.
Well, their lineup can hit. They just have got to find some pitching to go with it.
Changeup fouled off, fooled him badly at home plate. 0-1 the count.
Fooled me badly, too. I thought that ball was hit right back up the middle. Danks has done a really good job. I mean, he's made some quality pitches. He's made a couple of mistakes that got hit out of the ballpark. But all in all, he's thrown the ball well. And if you're Robin Ventura, you got to be happy with what you're seeing.
Pitch down and away, down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Dominguez, they're going to send him on around. Tremblay, the third base coach, wheeling him. Another run for the Astros. They lead it 4-1. Brandon Barnes, his 16th RBI with a double to right.
And you know, we look at this. Rios gets to this ball, plays it off the wall. Had he hit the cutoff man here, they got a chance at the play at the plate. As we watch the ball go down the right field line, kicked underneath the lip, came back out. Rios throws the ball, but it kind of sails on him. And you see how far away Dominguez was from home there, Sut. They'd have had a play there.
Four of the 5 hits tonight for the Houston Astros have been the kind of hits you like. You call them damage hits.
Yep. If you're going to hit, make them count. And that's the hardest fastball we've seen today from Danks at 90 miles an hour.
Dare I say an angry fastball to Altuve?
Yeah, there's a little bit of anger involved there.
You never threw one of those, did you?
Yeah, but mine typically ended up off the screen.
Mascots and everybody scampering.
I hit the bull.
0-1 the count. Jose Altuve, a true fan favorite here. One of the reasons is the underdog stature that he brings into the batter's box. 5'5", 5'6".
And that's a great thing about our game. There's a lot of people that would overlook a guy like Altuve. You don't have to be big to hit. You don't have to be big to field. And he's a... Freddie Patek was that way.
Out at third base. Well, that's a huge out. You take off in that situation. Brandon Barnes, with a guy like Altuve hitting, you had better make it.
Exactly. He's already in scoring position. They've got a 4-1 lead. And this is what I would call just a youthful mistake. And these are some of the growing pains that they're going to have to go through around here.
Tonight's telecast presented by Ace Hardware is sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Altuve tired of waiting. Since the start of last year, Robinson Cano's got a bunch of hits. There's the 1-2 is a high fly ball into right center field. Piazza's there, he puts it away. Altuve's right there with the likes of Cano and Pedroia. This inning, though, it was his teammate Brandon Barnes with the RBI. By Bayer Advanced Aspirin, the official pain reliever of MLB. And by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost, fuel economy, and a whole lot more. EcoBoost by Ford. Four to 1, the Astros are on top. A couple of homers, an RBI double, and Lucas Harrell answering the board. And doing things like that, strike one.
Yeah, he's continued to pour strike one over the plate all day long. If I'm Bo Porter, I'm extremely happy with the way this kid's throwing the ball.
You get a little bit of luck last night when you are struck out 14 times. You don't score an earned run, a historic evening, and you still win. You follow it up with a good all-around effort. You start to feel good about yourself. Bo Porter's squad played 20 games in 20 days, and they went 9-11. Some teams maybe might not be as excited about that, but this is a team with a tiny payroll, a fabulous farm system, and to go 9-11 and to be led by their starting pitching during that span, that's the key.
Exactly. They've got to build around guys like Lucas Harrell and have it trickle on down. You got Bud North, Harrell. They've got some young guys that can pitch. And you look at the starting pitcher ERA, American League leader since May 15th. Houston, second only to the Oakland A's. And he's gotten Diaz in the chase, breaking balls in both at bats today. Stands him up right there. Now, in a 3-2 count, all he has to do is get a breaking ball in the neighborhood side.
First pitch strikes to 14 of the 19 he has faced.
And yeah, that was one of the keys to the game for me. He had to work ahead.
To his left, Ronnie Cedeno, an underhanded flip on across to Carlos Pena.
And you for people at home that don't understand the difference between a 2-seam fastball and a 4-seam fastball, look at the ground balls that Lucas Harrell generates. There's very few pitchers in the game that are better than him. As I see right here, there's 4. Or actually, there's 2. Because 68.5, Porcello, Tepish, and Harrell.
I'm calling a 3-way tie there.
Yeah, that would be a tie. And his ball is so heavy. We saw him blow up Flowers' bat. As we see him talking to himself, get on top of the ball.
Into the corner, Trevor Crow. Sliding, boy, a tough attempt there. Small wall, it juts out. That's not a very comfortable spot. There's a lot of steel and concrete.
Well, and that wall's going to catch him about mid-thigh if he goes into it, and he's going to end up, that would have been really painful. You see him slide feet first into that concrete barrier at the bottom of it. He's lucky he didn't get hurt right there.
You love that if you're the pitcher seeing that effort, though, don't you?
Oh, yeah. And you don't forget that kind of stuff either.
Alexi Ramirez on a curveball. Gives a souvenir to these fans adorned in orange down below. Transfer of the uniform a bit here in Houston, Texas. Taking a step back to the old days, you see a lot more orange than the reddish color that you saw for a while around here. The old school Astro colors are back. You like that?
Yeah, I do. I think it kind of brings them back to who they originally were.
In the dome, in the Astrodome.
Yeah.
There's that electric sinking fastball, and down goes Alexi Ramirez. Next Saturday on Baseball Night in America, Adrian Beltre and the Rangers take on Carlos Beltran and the Cardinals. So the Reds battle the Diamondbacks in Arizona. It's the Red Sox, Tigers, Dodgers, Padres, Twins, and Indians. It's Baseball Night in America, presented by Ace Hardware, beginning next Saturday at 7 Eastern, only on Fox. A swing and miss sinking fastball.
Well, he's thrown a few today that are absolutely swing and miss sinkers. But in a perfect world, he wants the ball that he can run in on guys where they can't barrel it up. And now he's falling behind here with 2 outs. And this is the one thing you don't want to do. You're sailing along. You got 2 out. Don't let up. You have to continue your concentration.
A season high, those 7 strikeouts. His career high is 9. 3-0.
And you can see we're in the 6th inning. He's thrown 90 pitches. He has not lost a thing. That last pitch was 95. Many people know I don't believe in pitch count. I believe you can look at a guy and tell whether or not he's fatigued. Harrell is not fatigued. If he starts getting under the ball and pushing the ball a little bit, then you'll know, okay, he's tired.
Out to third. Surrounding it. Firing on a cross is Matt Dominguez. He's faced the minimum going all the way back to the 1st inning, including that double play an inning ago. Heck of an outing.
break, the Toronto Blue Jays have won 4 in a row. Colby Rasmus contributing with home run number 12 as R.A. Dickey earns a nostalgic win against the team that drafted him number 18 overall back in 1996. And the Cubs have won 3 straight. Starlin Castro's 2-run double, a part of a 5-2 victory. The Mets have lost 10 of their last 12. As we send you back to Darren and Mitch in Houston.
Thank you, Matty. Texas doing everything they can to keep pace with the Oakland A's. Who would have thought that, the way the season started?
And they're struggling right now offensively. They're not producing any runs. Lost today 6-1. So they're not finding the barrel of their bats very often at all right now.
Jason Castro battled knee and foot problems that cost him all of 2011. It also cost his catching ability. Blocking the ball, getting down in the dirt. When your base is being torn apart, you're not who you are as a catcher. He feels strong again.
Well, you're not who you are as a catcher or a hitter. You have to have your legs under you to hit. And he's proven right now that he's going to be an everyday catcher.
From a fabulous background in Castro Valley, California. Astros first-round pick 5 years ago out of Stanford.
So wait a minute.
This is earlier lefty on lefty.
And that's just a really good pass of the baseball right there. So he grew up in Castro Valley. His name is Castro, and he signed with the Astros?
That's exactly right.
Wow.
Very creative. Grandfather, father, and brother are all firefighters, which means he has great perspective on life. As he goes down, changeup lefty on lefty there. Castro's a strikeout victim. But a lot of depth, I would imagine. Well beyond baseball talk in that home.
Yeah.
A tip of the cap to Grandpa, Dad, and brother for providing safety and security for those in their community.
Absolutely.
So out there on the mound, John Danks knows he needs to, and he's already disappointed that he's given up 4. Keep it right there because these White Sox and their starters don't get much run support.
No, I mean, if you look at it, every time a run crosses the plate, he gets further and further away from him having a chance to win. What is it, Seth?
About 3.5.
3.5 runs a game an offense has put up for these starters this year. I mean, the starting pitching's been good for the White Sox.
About 3.7.
But when you take the mound as a starting pitcher and you know that you're only going to get a certain amount of runs, as soon as it got to 4, Danks has got to be saying, well, I don't have a chance to win. And that's a tough way to take the mound.
Some of these hitters, though, as Chris Carter takes outside with Ramirez, Rios, and Dunn, and Konerko, surprising.
It is. It's very surprising. And honestly, the way that this offense has performed, it's shocking to me to be in the same division with the Detroit Tigers, and they're only 8.5 games out. So they do have, what you said in the open, an opportunity to make a run, especially because they're pitching so well.
Chris Carter hit a monster home run back in the 4th inning. That one bounces in there. Last year in 67 games with Oakland, he hit 16 homers. And an OPS on base plus slugging of nearly 900. League average is about 730. So he was about 160 points above league average, and this is what he did in the 4th.
I can't believe he kept this ball fair.
I still don't know where it went.
I think it was
way.
up there over that choo-choo train. You go find it when you go up there after the game.
Chases a fastball, and down goes Carter. We're going to have a good time when we go up there, Mitch and I, after the game. Go looking for that home run ball. 4-1 is the score. Mitch and I are going up there. Adam Dunn to lead things off. The slugger for the Chicago White Sox. He's 0 for 2 with the strikeout. He's also flied to left field. When he flied out back in the 4th inning, he just missed it. Out under it a little bit.
Starts him with a changeup, which is a good idea after that last at bat.
Just for Men Auto Stop foolproof stat: 423 home runs. Power amongst left-handed hitters. Giambi, Big Adam Dunn, and Big Poppy at 415. There's Adam Dunn back home in Houston, Texas. Ride him, cowboy. It's out of here.
That just goes to show you what we've been talking about. It doesn't matter what part of the park. That is a strong human. You see Lucas Harrell kind of laughing out on the mound. There's nothing really you can do but laugh. The hay hauler barreled one. When you're up there and you hit the ball out of left field as a left-hander and you know it's gone, the second it hits the bat, like right there, he goes, okay, I missed the last one, but I didn't miss this one. The back row of the Crawford boxes.
Boy, that approach will leave you a little bit speechless as Konerko hits one up toward the roof. Houston knows their own ballpark. Under it is Pena, and he makes the play for the out. That was a, if you will, Rod Carew-like pass at the baseball. Just nice and easy.
Dunner doesn't swing hard, and the great thing about him when he's going good is you saw his hands stay inside that ball right there. He is so strong. All he has to do is stay inside it. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to try and pull the ball. He's so strong he can hit it out of anything.
Got another one to the resume there amongst the left-handed sluggers.
That's 424 now, right? If we're counting.
That's either left-handed sluggers or a group of bouncers when you think of all those guys.
Well, Lucas Harrell doesn't have to feel bad about himself. That means 423 guys before him have given up home runs to him.
Harrell's given up 10 this year for a guy who sinks it. That may be too high of a total, but again, you understand what Adam Dunn will do that. Clemens, the right-hander, working. Wesley Wright, the left-hander, working. Paul Clemens, a big arm out of that pin. He brings it to the mound like Harrell does. 93.
And this is the thing. You start looking at his pitch count. So what, 98? He's still got great life on the ball. If I'm Bo Porter, I'm going to let him pitch here. I'm not going to take him out just because of the pitch count. Trust me, I think there's probably 25 guys in that White Sox dugout that want him out of the game. They've been looking at this for 7 innings now.
Rolled the curveball, maybe left it up a little bit. And Gillespie hustling on around, kicked out there. I'm not sure how you rule it because Gillespie was.
It's going to be a single and an error.
He was all that. Gillespie was going to go for it though, Mitch.
Well, he was coming to a stop coming around first base. Once that ball gets by him, and that's the thing with this club. Little kind of goofy errors like that add up, and that's your 52nd error on the year.
Lining up that rookie list, he's been there all year long. Phil Porter will tell you that's the part I don't like. Doug Broquet, a longtime veteran reliever, good teammate to many. Now the pitching coach here in Houston with this a little bit youngish, if you will, coaching staff.
Yeah.
Guy's not too far removed from the game. Yeah, these two teams will tell you, the White Sox and the Astros, we've got to play better defense.
Well, especially when you have a guy like Harrell on the mound that counts on the ball being put in play. He's got to have the confidence to make those pitches knowing that the guys behind him are going to catch him.
The Angels have 50 errors. They are in the second highest total. Houston with 52 and the Sox at 44, the third highest. The Sox have pretty good range, though, and don't quite take advantage of it. The Astros not nearly the range.
He's still at 93 miles an hour. He's got to get his focus back. We've got a 4-2 ball game right now. He's got to get back to thinking before he makes every pitch. What am I trying to do here?
Pitch number 101 comes home.
That's filth.
It better be, because one swing of the bat can change this game. It's 4-2 now with an error, has that runner on second.
Absolutely, and now is where he has to not concern himself with the pitch count and use a pitch to set up another one. He can strike Viciedo out if he uses a pitch to set something up. Don't let the pitch count dictate how you're going to pitch.
Lucas averages about 5 2/3 innings per start. Man, that fastball buried in. 0-2 the count.
As we look at his pitches by inning, his first inning was obviously his roughest. And now we're in the 7th. He's thrown 10 pitches. He's got one out. He gave up a homer. And he's got a guy on second. So what? Get your concentration back and make a pitch right here. I'm bouncing a breaking ball if I'm Harrell.
He's got to believe in it. Gillespie hit the last one. He threw a fastball, ground ball behind the bag. Cedeno, off balance throw, and he got it. He went in and just challenged him.
That's that bowling ball. You see it get in on him. Cedeno makes a nice play.
The runner moves to third. We'll talk about the pain that could be inflicted with a 2-out RBI here by Gordon Beckham.
And getting Beckham back is going to help the White Sox offense. He's hitting over 300 since coming back. Tremendous second baseman and can be a force offensively.
Just his 18th game of the year. To right field, that's well struck. Crow goes back, it's over his head. A huge 2-out double off the bat of Gordon Beckham. The White Sox are alive and kicking.
And now, this is where if I'm Bo Porter, I go, okay, his sinker's flattened out. He's not locating it as much. Now maybe it's time to go to the bullpen. You see that right there? That ball just stays up and out over the plate. A good job of hitting by Beckham. And I'll be honest, I think he got a break. Harrell got a break right there because that probably would have been a triple.
Kick off the wall, rattle around in that little corner by the bullpen. Down by just a run. Tyler Flowers, a bouncing ball out. Tuve with the dive. Is there a play? Nowhere. Well, that's how you hit a hard sinker. Use the big part of the infield. Flowers did. It's his first hit.
And that's an unbelievable play by Altuve to keep that ball in the infield.
Saved a run. Harrell just took a look into the dugout. Not looking for help. I think just checking to see if his boss was coming out.
Well, and you really want Harrell to work out of this. He's got to get past his home woes and realize he can win here at home. But Porter's going to go get it.
Bo Porter, always the optimist. You go get the right-hander out of the bullpen. We'll talk more about Harrell when we come back.
pitcher for the Houston Astros tonight. He leaves the mound with a lead, thanks in great part to this play right here. Jose Altuve makes an unbelievable stop on this ball to keep this ball in the infield, or we got a tie ball game set.
He's gone out and made plays on balls in the air in the outfield. That one on the infield ended up in the outfield grass. And as you said, they hand the baton to Paul Clemens, a hard thrower in his own right, on for the 21st time this year. In relation to the one-time Houston Cy Young Award winner. Alejandro De Aza takes strike one at 94 miles an hour.
And you look at Clemens, he's really slender and generates some really good arm speed.
A Dominican native, 29 years old. Talking about De Aza, 0 for 3 with a strikeout, pop out, and a ground out. Facing Clemens, runners on first and third. Breaking ball right in there.
You got a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and then you throw that dewdrop in hook on a guy. It's kind of unfair.
You got to think with development and confidence, that's closer kind of stuff.
Yeah. He does something with his front feet when he comes set that I can't believe umpires don't call a balk, but he sets his front foot about 3 different times. You watch him here. 1, 2, 3. That, to me, I don't understand how they don't call that a balk. Wow. That's a filthy curveball.
An unhittable curveball. Or as Mitch says, I think better, filthy, picking up his teammate. Presented by Ace Hardware is sponsored by Leinenkugel Summer Shandy. Join us out here. And by Taco Bell. Sometimes you got to live Moss. One of the great metropolitan areas in the United States, this Houston, Woodland, Sugarland area. More than 6 million people as we welcome you back. And ready to come alive again as a baseball town over the next few years. Breaking ball misses in.
Pena did not give an inch right there. And John Danks has done a good job keeping his team in this thing. He's going to have an opportunity to win this game if he can hold them right there. That's a pretty good pitch right there if he called a ball.
So he went changeup in to start him, breaking ball away in the count 2-0. Pena hit by a pitch scored in the second inning on a double off the bat of Ronnie Cedeno. He also grounded out. Big swing, 2-0. Couldn't keep it fair.
Changeup. 2-0 changeup to a left-hander. That takes a lot of confidence to do that.
You wouldn't have seen that a generation ago on a baseball player.
No, I can tell you, I would never have thrown a 2-0 changeup.
Well, I know you wouldn't have.
That's where the game's evolved so much, though. In the American League, you used to see it quite a bit, but not the National League game. Never would you see that.
They threw him another one.
Yeah. That's just the confidence. I mean, if you have the confidence in all your pitches and you're not afraid to throw them at any count, that's just a bonus.
28-year-old southpaw on 3-1. Fires a fastball high, a leadoff walk. Let's take a look at the Fox Sports 1 pitcher comparison presented by Fox Sports 1. It's America's brand new sports network, and it's coming this August.
And you look at it, 6 innings out of Danks, 5 hits, 4 runs. Harrell actually gave up more hits, struck out 2 more.
Robin Ventura has gone to the bullpen. The veteran left-hander is done. Sports 1 is your home for great live sports, all the news and highlights you want, shows and specials that only Fox could bring you. It's America's new sports network, and it's Fox Sports 1 coming August 17th. We'll see you then. We see Matt Lindstrom now, the veteran, well-traveled, hard-throwing right-hander with a 2.93 ERA. Not as many strikeouts as you might think for that velocity, and he'll tell you probably too many walks. There's a big arm there, though. He faces Cedeno at 94, and it's foul.
So this is a kid in Lindstrom. He's been all over the place. I honestly believe that he speeds hitters up with his delivery. If he was a little slower with his leg kick, and you're packing around 94 to 98 miles an hour, you kind of lull a hitter to sleep with your delivery, and he actually speeds him up because of his leg kick being so herky-jerky and quick. It'll speed the hitter up.
Infield playing very tight fastball as he rushes it to the plate. 0-2 the count.
And another pitcher that I can't believe umpires are not calling a balk on. You have to come to a discernible stop at the top of your set position. And he pumps his glove about 3 different times and never really comes set and delivers the ball.
86 miles an hour. He can get it up to triple digits, can't he?
Yeah, he's definitely been one of the guys who's touched 100. But as I said, his delivery is so quick that it speeds the hitters up. Now watch his hands, Sut, and you tell me if I'm just making this up or. He'll pump his glove once he's supposed to be in the set position. He'll move it about 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Well,
did the same thing when he came home. Is it because umpires are just used to it and aware of it?
I saw a balk called the other day for not coming to a discernible stop. And this is absolutely a balk. If Bob Davidson was here, trust me, he'd be calling a balk on
Fair
this.
enough. That's Doug Eddings behind the plate. But you saw a moment ago, Mitch Williams, Darren Sutton here in Houston, Texas. 4-3 is our score. The Astros on top of the White Sox. 2-2 the count.
And both times he's tried to ratchet it up a little bit, he's pulled the ball.
Well, just to put a bow on your point, no one's really hollering anything about it.
No.
The balk, that is.
Exactly. And I'm going to, when Clemens comes back out, I'm going to talk about his with his foot.
Matt's been really good in his last 13 outings. He hasn't given up a run in more than 10 innings, 10 2/3 innings.
Come on. You don't find arms like this very often.
Florida, Houston, Colorado, Baltimore last year with Arizona for part of the year. A career 3.5 ERA.
And like you said when he came in, he did 19 punch-outs. That's not a lot in 27 innings for a guy that has his fastball.
2-2 the count. 7 hits for the White Sox. The Astros have 5, but they lead it 4-3. Houston with a pair of home runs in the 4th inning. Jason Castro, Chris Carter, Ronnie Cedeno with an RBI double. The man with the bat in his hands now.
If Lindstrom could elevate a fastball in the middle of the plate, Cedeno's out. He won't be able to lay off it. He won't be able to hit it.
Bouncing ball, he knocks it down. They were playing tight for a double play, and they got it. Chevrolet, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, is celebrating a new season for new memories. For your chance to win a community field makeover and an all-new 2014 Impala, visit ChevyBaseball.com. Well, strikeouts are fun, but you'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I know John Danks is happy about it. It puts his game to bed. Doesn't have to worry about another run being tagged on.
He was not happy to come out of the ball game, speaking of Danks.
No, he was not happy at all. And if you're a manager, that's what you want. You don't want a guy that wants to come out.
0-1 the count on Matt Dominguez. Singled and scored in the 5th inning, fly to right field. Matt didn't have a single home run up until May 11th. He's hit 9 since. That one belted toward the gap in left center field. De Aza won't get there. Dominguez is on the move. An extra base hit for Matt. 11 doubles on the season. A pair of hits tonight.
And you see that's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and they swing at it. It's a strange thing. Anytime a baseball's down in the zone like that, it becomes hittable. I don't care if you're throwing it 100. If it's down, it's hittable. When we look here, that right there, that's the bottom half of the strike zone, and that ball is squashed.
Came in the Carlos Lee deal. Carlos was sent to Miami last year. He's got 11 doubles to go along with his 9 home runs. Well, extended that corner a bit to Trevor Crowe. 0-1 the count. Trevor grounded out to short in the 3rd inning. Fly to center field.
tuned it up to 96 right there. Now, if he can elevate here, Sut, and this is the thing with hard throwers for me, don't be afraid to go up and out of the zone. If they go up and away or up and in, a hitter can read in and away. But if it's in the middle and it's a 96 or 97 miles an hour, they have to go after it. They can't take the chance that it's going to have the downward plane on it.
Curve ball outside corner. My goodness, that's just frozen. 4-3 is our score. But you better look out because due up third, big out of dodge. We come back with a Paul Clemens fastball. 0-1 the count to Alexi Ramirez. 4-3 the score. The Astros on top.
There aren't very many relievers anymore that throw out of a windup. Clemens is one that does.
Belton toward the gap in right center field. Down. Played nicely by Barnes, but a man in Alexi Ramirez who certainly has seen extra base hits go down over the last few seasons. Not that time.
Well, that ball continued to cut the entire way away from Barnes. And that ball was hit extremely hard, so Barnes did a good job to get to it before it got to the wall. That could have been a triple.
Alexi's got 7 hits in his last 4 games. Starting to drive the ball a little bit more as skipper Robin Ventura theorizing to us today. Maybe hitting second, he's changing a little bit who he is as a hitter. I just assume him start hitting it out and up against the boards.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to take a look at Clemens' feet here. Look at his feet. When he comes to his set position with his hands set, he's going to tap 3 times before he comes set. If he only does it twice, the umpire's got to call a ball. You see, gee, we're having a little hard time.
Time was called late.
One, two, that should be a balk. That should absolutely be a ball.
Changeup swung on and missed by Rios, 0-1 the count.
Because that's deceiving the base runner. If he does it 3 times every time, okay, you let him get away with it. But if he only does it twice, that's a balk.
So Lindstrom with that unique approach. And a couple of taps by Clemens. So why is it not called, I wonder?
I have no idea, but that's absolutely a balk. The first pitch was 3 times, and the last 2 were 2 times.
White Sox offense has come alive.
2.
Yeah, he's just gone to 2. Ouch. In the first 6 innings, Chicago did very little to nothing offensively, and that's Lucas Harrell. As Harrell faded, the offense started to awaken. Now suddenly, we've got ourselves a ball game.
Well, Clemens right here is looking for a punch out. That big nose to toes curveball that he has would be a good pitch right here. Get a punch out. Oh, tied him up.
An awkward
with
swing.
a changeup.
Walk us through this at bat. That was like a flutter ball changeup that stayed up.
Yeah, that's not a pitch that he wanted to throw in that location, but when we watch how he approached Rios, he went right at it.
With a runner in scoring position.
We're going to look at a pitch by pitch in that last at bat. Starting with a changeup, another changeup, heater in, it goes back to his changeup, and it leaves it up, and he hung it so bad he couldn't hit it.
Bo Porter goes to the bullpen. Southpaw coming on. Astros bullpen since all the way back in the 2008 season. The left-hander now with his 264th career appearance for the Houston Astros out of Montgomery, Alabama. And again, 4 starts a couple of seasons back, but otherwise this is a long-serving Houston reliever, and he's got a tough assignment against Adam Dunn.
And he's brought in here strictly to get Dunn, the left-hander. They checked on it to see if Dunn went. They said no, but it's a pretty good pitch to begin with.
So that's one way to look at it for Adam Dunn.
And you can see why Bo Porter went to Wesley Wright.
But Wright's about dead even when you look at his splits, lefty-righty. At 315, both sides. Right down the middle.
And now that he's got the count even 1-1, I expect to see a steady diet of breaking balls. And if I'm Adam Dunn as a hitter, I got to know that at the plate. He's going to throw a lot of breaking balls here.
For Dunn, by the way, that 096 is 5 of 52, so 3 of his 5 hits have been home runs against lefties. Outside.
And that was a 92-mile-an-hour cutter right there. I think Castro was crossed up on it.
Just a quick reminder, I'm sure, too, just you don't have to overthrow because it's Adam Dunn. You throw one to the backstop, then a fly ball ties this game.
Exactly.
Bo Porter talking about Castro before the game. He's become more of the quarterback-style catcher that he hoped. Showed it right there.
Well, and Wright is in here for one hitter.
Breaking ball, strike 3. Strike two. Jumped ahead.
Well, and now he's got to be able to throw that breaking ball off the outside corner of the plate and get Dunn to chase.
See if he does double up on it.
Stayed with the fastball there. And you can tell Dunn's looking for a breaking ball because he was late on that fastball. He's got 40 hits this year, Sut. 40 RBIs. So when he does get a hit, he's doing damage.
And of his 40 hits, 24 of them have been extra base hits.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good pitch right there. And Dunn showed a lot of discipline staying off that. But that tells you that Dunn is looking for a breaking ball.
Ball sticking his nose on it was Pena. That's a nice play. Took a bad hop. Runner moves up to third. Wright wins that battle. "4-3 is our score. Tonight's Fox Sports 1 game summary presented by Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming this August. Harrell, very good and electric stuff. Faded in the end. A couple of big home runs in the 4th inning. And Adam Dunn, career home run number 424. So walk the righty to face the lefty. They want to leave Wright in the game. And in doing so, putting the go-ahead run on.
Yeah, this is a gutsy play by Bo Porter. I'll be curious to see if they pinch hit for Gillespie. If they do, they will be making a pitching change. And sure enough, I bet it's Keppinger. I haven't even looked down there yet, but that would be my guess.
It is Jeff Keppinger with the bat in his hand, number 7 on the back of that jersey, the veteran.
Well, Wesley Wright ain't going to be facing him.
Bo made sure he was announced as the official pinch hitter. Didn't want any of that Mike Scioscia Angel stuff going on.
No.
4-3.
Ace Hardware. 4-3 is our score. Hector Hombres, the right-hander, the UCLA product out of Southern California, comes on and goes to work for the 32nd time this year.
We look at his numbers: 31 games, 1-3 record, 10 holes.
He's given up a lot of his own runs when he's been out there, but in situations like this, he's inherited 17 runners, only 4 have scored.
And that's pretty good. And he's facing a very good hitter in Jeff Keppinger right now. Not having the year that you would expect him to have.
Keppinger 12 of his last 38 against right-handers, a .316 clip. Poor strike one in there, 0-1 the count.
And that's 94 miles an hour. Here we go. Let's, me and you, one of us is going to win. That's a 4-seamer. He has a 2-seam fastball as well.
Jeff was an Astro for 3 seasons. Raking ball and a dandy.
That had really good downward movement on it. Typically that pitch is going to start where it started and then break off the plate, and that's what Keppinger was awaiting, but it didn't come. That ball stayed right on the part of the plate that it started on.
Infield, outfield, straight up with a man with a wide open stance in Keppinger.
Great play right there by Castro. That's a ball game, and that's the toughest pitch for a catcher to block, because when it hits, it typically doesn't come straight up. It's going to bite and kick the opposite direction. So if anybody has any questions about whether or not Castro can block the ball, look at this right here. That's perfection. He's got his chest forward to deaden it, make sure when it hits him, it doesn't kick off, it stays in front of him.
The 1-2. Bouncing ball out towards short. That'll do it. A huge block by the man behind the plate. His battery mate cleans it up. Well, what a job by Castro. Card, preferred card of Major League Baseball since 1997, and by the new 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Boy, fun one here at the Ball Yard in Houston, Texas. Nate Jones, big hard-throwing right-hander, takes the rock and he rolls forward. 27th appearance of the year. Jones 6'5". Fastball in the mid-90s when he is right. Jeff Keppinger is the new third baseman.
And these guys coming out of this White Sox bullpen, their bullpen coach now is one of my ex-teammates, Bobby Thigpen. Ran into him today in the lobby of the hotel. Said I hadn't seen him since '93 when we were on the World Series team together.
Yeah, that's scary, and there are oohs and ahs, but that's a slider that slipped off his fingertips. No intent there.
Trust me, he's not coming in to hit anybody in this situation. He's being brought in here to keep this game a one-run ball game.
And he overthrew a slider, and it just never got there.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of wildness late in the game.
Shocked you would say that. 1-2 count.
Well, if a hitter's going to the plate and he's thinking about living through the at-bat rather than thinking about hitting, that's not a bad thing.
Now
that's 98.
Is a little bit of life. That's the kind of pitch Mitch is talking about.
Yeah. And this is not, that's not even that far inside. I know it looks that way, but it's really not. If he can throw a slider even in the neighborhood right here, pretty good chance at a punch out.
He did. He threw it in the neighborhood. Keppinger plays it at the belt, shoots it on across the diamond. Brandon Barnes, that was a very uncomfortable at bat. Jose Altuve is certainly a cornerstone of this organization and proud of it.
This is really important to me. Begin from the battle with the team. I know this team is going to be a really good thing. It's going to be success. So I feel really happy to be part of this team in the new beginning.
At 5'5", glad to carry the load.
And does it well.
Yeah, I think they're building around the right guy. Breaking ball, strike one. The new beginning. That's how good he has been since the start of last year. Look at that club.
Oh, my.
Slider broke his bat. Ramirez, and he is done. Now, the bat wasn't there, but the glove certainly, along with the bat, is there with him on most evenings. He's special. He's fun to watch. And that play right there a moment ago kind of reminds you of David Eckstein in the sense that he's a guy that knows he's not tall on arm, but smart on when to get rid of the baseball.
Exactly. And this play right here is the reason this is still a one-run game for them. If that ball gets through, we're sitting on a 4-4 game.
And if this man doesn't do his job behind the plate, which is block up a wicked breaking ball with a runner at third, we're also in a tie game.
Exactly. And it won't be on anybody's highlight film, but it'll definitely be on your managers.
0-2 the count. This stuff is somewhat unfair, by the way.
Well, if Jones is getting over his breaking ball, and you're a hitter at the plate, and you're sitting, you know he's packing 98, it's pretty tough to sit breaking ball. Wow, that was filth.
Flowers does a nice job blocking up the pitch. The big fella Adam Dunn finds the bag. The Astros 3 outs to a victory, looking to continue to roll here on Baseball Night in America. proud to team with Feeding America, a nationwide network of food banks that helps feed more than 37 million people in America each year through pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters. Visit feedingamerica.org/Fox Sports to learn how you can help fight hunger in your community. Together, we're Feeding America. This has been the answer in the 9th inning this year. Jose Veras, who came in his big league career with just 5 career saves. He's got 12 this season to make it 17. The right-hander comes on with a 3.72 on the season.
Well, and he's got to come in and get ahead.
Diane Viciedo, 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. 1-0 the count.
When you're a young closer in the game, you have to understand the pressure is not on you. The pressure is on the hitter. You already have the lead as the pitcher in this situation. The pressure's on the hitter.
1-1 the count. Veras threw 20 pitches last night in earning the save, his 12th on the season, in that 2-1 win over the Chicago White Sox. Ventura knew his entire bullpen was rested because he hadn't used him in quite some time. Bo Porter knew that his closer would be available for sure tonight as well. He told us before the game.
Well, Robin Ventura had a day off, a rain out, and then a complete game loss. So his bullpen hadn't done anything in at least 3 days.
And his bullpen looked pretty darn fresh tonight and explosive.
And that probably had a lot to do with the reason he pulled Danks as early as he did.
3-1 the count.
In my opinion, now you got a 3-1 count right here. Viciedo's sitting on a fastball in one zone. Spin a breaking ball up there. See if you can get it back to a full count and then go to work from there. Castro had put down a couple different signs. I think he settled on 2. Okay, fastball away. They're going fastball away here.
Not even close. Tying run is on.
Now he's overthrowing everything. You saw the movement he just did on the mound after he let that go. That's showing you he's got a lot of east to west movement rather than north to south movement in his delivery. So he's jerking the ball. Okay, we're going to look at it here. You watch his front side. It's going to blow out. You see his front side blow out and his head and everything. That leads to jerking your fastball down and away from a right-hander if you're a right-hander pitcher. You have to stay behind your head.
Veras has 6 appearances with no day's rest, as in this situation. With Jordan Danks coming on. Brother John started the game. He's back home in Texas. A huge contingent of family and friends in the stands. But in those 6 appearances with no day's rest, he's given up 4 runs in 6 innings, a pair of home runs, a 6 ERA. That's this season. You called for that earlier.
Exactly.
A breaking ball, strike 1.
When you're struggling with your fastball command, it will help at times to go to your breaking ball just to get something new in your mind. And this, I'm telling you right now, they're going to run Danks because Veras is extremely slow to the plate.
Oh, and 2 the count, back-to-back benders.
He just waited a hit or 2 long to go to that pitch. That gets him back behind his head. He knows he's got to stay back longer. Now come out of your shoes and throw a fastball.
Beckham's had a good night. He's 2 of 3 with a double and an RBI. Breaking ball spoiled it.
You don't want to keep giving him the same look. That's 3 straight breaking balls now. Change his eyes, show him a fastball, show him something. If he throws him a fastball right here for a ball up, that means he can come back with breaking ball or fastball. That's when the game of chicken starts taking place between the hitter and the pitcher.
Jordan Danks takes off. The pitch is in the dirt.
I knew that was just a matter of time, so he's so slow to the plate and deliberate, which you can be as long as you change your times to the plate.
Well, since the start of last season, 11 stolen bases with Veras on the mound, just 2 thrown out.
I don't believe in a slide step. I hate that. I don't believe in sacrificing stuff to hold runners. I think you can hold runners by holding the ball, stepping off, throwing over. Nothing makes a base runner more uncomfortable than standing there. Now he's put himself in a situation where he almost has to have a punch out.
He hasn't thrown him a fastball yet. He hung a breaking ball, but it's belted foul. Boy, did that hang up there and spin.
Yeah.
Woo. You're lucky that you get that one back.
Gordon Beckham's eyes got really big right there. And that's what happens when you run off and leave it. His first few breaking balls of this AB were really good. He tried to overthrow that one.
Still no fastballs in this at bat. There it is.
Much better behind his head there. You saw the downward movement of that ball. I think the best thing that happened in that at bat was the fact that he hung his breaking ball. Beckham turned on it, talked Veras into throwing a fastball.
I think if he throws another breaking ball of that variety that he threw, it would be in the Crawford boxes.
Yeah.
Huge strikeout runner at second, though. A single still ties this ball game. Here's Tyler Flowers, 1 of 3. Bender over the corner. 0-1 the count.
And Veras has got to be very careful with Danks at second because Dominguez is very deep at third base. Third base is easier to steal than second base. So Veras has got to vary his looks and change his times, do all that, and keep Danks unsettled at second base.
Flowers rolled into a double play in the 5th inning. Singleton was stranded in the 7th. That's the defense you're talking about. There's that invitation to head to third.
Yeah, I mean, look how far over Cedeno is. Altuve's got to do all the work at second base, holding Danks close. And as hard as Veras is throwing, a fastball in the hole there between second and first is very possible.
Hung that one, but it's a strike. He will run off and leave a breaking ball, won't he?
Yes, he does. That's typically what happens when you try and overthrow it. Now, go elevate. Throw a fastball up. Up middle.
Oh, my. Slider, strike 3.
And that's been he's been able to command his breaking ball. He's had no command of his fastball. And hitters are going to see that. They're going to know, okay, he's not commanding his fastball. I can sit breaking ball.
Lucas Harrell started it, went 6 2/3 innings as Doug Eddings breaks up the rock pile on the mound. Castro visits. And the Astros have the lead because of this man. The Barnes double in the 5th inning. King play of the game brought to you by Burger King, where taste is king. Brandon Barnes, that double in the 5th. RBI number 16 on the year. Career minor leaguer. How fun does that feel?
Yeah, it's got to be a huge bit of fun for him.
Sneaky pickoff play. That's the ball game. Wow. Roddy Cedeno snuck right in. And Jordan Danks was hung out to dry.
He's going to argue that he didn't get the tag on him, but the throw beat him by so much, there's no way the umpire's going to call him safe.
What a way to end it.
Hey, anytime you can get an out without facing a guy with a bat in his hand is good. And you know what? He probably was safe, but the throw beat him, like I said, by so far. No, he was out.
Now he's out.
Yeah, he was out.
This angle will tell if he got the arm right away. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Danks is arguing, but he's going to come back and see who was out.
Coming up next, we'll send it back to the MLB Network studios for post-game coverage right after these messages. Well, what a way to end it. A little footwork on the mound.